Before we got started, we were averaging somewhere between 45,000 a month. We've been working together for, just over 2 months now. And we actually just broke a record for our highest revenue month at 72,000. People call, they saw the promo, it's no questions asked. It's just basically when can I schedule? Because it's cutting our sales process in half. It's mostly just when can you get me in?
Nice.
We were able to hire some more guys, bigger shop space and stuff. Things are good. We're now seeing the availability to where I can be a person again, not just completely absorbed in work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. We can make plans for vacations and take weekends off and whatnot. It's allowing much more comfortability within life. We're probably expecting with the track that we're on anywhere from 85 to 90,000
Nice.
within the next couple of months. So,
All right, guys, what is up? We are back. Who am I here with today? Kevin, can you please give a quick introduction about yourself, what services you offer?
yeah, what's up, guys? This is Kevin from Elite Auto Care in Buffalo, New York. We do everything as far as detailing, PPF, ceramic coatings, window tint, vinyl wraps, and whatever else we can do to the cars.
Nice. So you do the whole 9 yards. And
Whole shebang, yep.
just briefly, like we'll get into this, but briefly, what was it kind of like before working with us, maybe revenue wise, and what's kind of been the difference right now in the span that we've been working?
Before we got started, we were averaging somewhere between 45,000 a month. We've been working together for, just over 2 months now. And we actually just broke a record for our highest revenue month thus far at 72,000.
Nice.
We were able to hire some more guys, bigger shop space and stuff. Things are good.
Exactly, and it's not too bad, as I would say, but we can always increase, and we have discussed, like, we do have capacity to take on more. What do you feel like we might be on track for a hit in the next month coming up?
I'd say if we make some adjustments to pricing, to not just bombard everybody with work, make some adjustments to pricing, maybe new promos, and especially with the sun coming out, we're probably expecting with the track that we're on anywhere from 85 to 90,000
Nice.
within the next couple of months.
So
Breaking
a
records,
nice
which is
little
cool. Yeah.
jump. Okay, that's cool. And before, I guess, working with us, what were you doing in the past? What did you try? What was kind of your strategy back then?
So we did a lot of similar things. We're honing in a lot with staying on top of ads and actual like personalized stuff. That's your method, and it works. People want to see people, and you give them that visual representation of the work that you do, and while you're working on things, and it's working great. Just the angle that you guys provide and put in our minds for the ads when we're making them, it's just it's definitely helping a lot. We worked with agencies before. It's not like this is our first time, but I'm happy that we made the move over with you guys.
So you did work with agencies before, and a lot of people watching might be working with agencies or might have tried them in the past. For you, though, at what point did you realize you may want to try maybe a different agency or a different approach?
I knew that there was more available, and your personal involvement, has helped a lot. And I kind of mentioned at the beginning, that's what showed my interest, the transparency through everything, guiding through the process, and it's not just hiring somebody to, hey, run my ads, like you're helping us make sure that the ads that we're putting out and what we're actually spending our money on is something that's going to transpire into revenue growth. It's like, that's important, and obviously it's showing.
Yeah, and aside from like obviously the communication, the more in-depth, sort of more nuanced approach that we have, what are some of the differences you notice with us and the agencies you worked in the past that allows you to get like these results which you maybe hadn't in the past?
You just guys are on point, constantly working on it, looking for improvements where we can optimize. It's not just when I make a suggestion or if I'm asking questions about, hey, is this working well? You guys are constantly keeping me updated day to day, which, again, it goes back to the transparency, but like you're helping us see the work that you're doing and putting in the work. It just, it makes me feel a lot more comfortable with the investment that we're making into the business, especially with what's transpiring out of it.
Sure. Like, if you were to be honest, though, were you maybe a little skeptical before going into it, or I guess what were your thoughts genuinely?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm skeptical about everything,
Sure.
but at the same time, it was like with the agency that I was with them for 2 years. It was the first one that we ever worked with. So that's who we started running ads with and
Mhm.
working with in this regard. So when I was about to, make a transition, I was obviously skeptical of everybody that I talked to because I was worried I would just get kind of into the same thing or,
Mhm.
um, not many changes because it's not like I have complaints about my last place,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
once we got on a call and we talked and the testimonials and whatnot of seeing the results that you were getting with other shops, I felt comfortable and confident and that it's working. So
Okay.
there's
Cool.
my testimony to show that it will work and
Mhm.
you guys are good people to work with. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because obviously we're biased. Like when we're on a call with people who haven't hopped on, we know what we can do and we know what the shop needs, but it's just like everyone has their own perspective. Like, why would you
Yeah.
believe us? Like we're biased. I mean, we're trying to run your ads for you, but like now that you're, a little bit more comfortable making a little bit more money, obviously we haven't hit what we need to hit. Like there's still so much more room to grow, but just making that extra 30 grand a month or whatever it is, what has that allowed you to maybe do with the business like now?
Oh, I mean, now we can, confidently stock. We're not constantly checking our bank accounts to make sure that we have the ability to order in material for the next job.
Mhm.
Guys want to take a vacation with their family, and we don't have to worry about like, oh, well, I need you here to generate the revenue that week to take care of it, like so that we can keep things moving. It's helping us create a healthier business, increasing our margins and having a little bit more of a cushion within the business, which is what everybody in my shoes could ask for.
Yeah. And for you though, like if you're open to sharing, what does it allows you to do maybe on like more personal level, like in your day-to-day life?
So I'm definitely more involved with the like customer side of things instead of being so absorbed into the work. Now that we have consistent revenue and jobs coming in with the lead flow that you're providing, gives me the ability to not completely step out of the work because that's one thing about myself or my downfall is I enjoy doing the work as
Yeah,
well. So it's hard to
sure.
pull me completely out of it.
Mhm.
But like we're now seeing the availability to where I can be a person again, not just completely absorbed in work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. We can make plans for vacations and take weekends off and whatnot. It's allowing much more comfortability within life. What's coming out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
Lastly, before we kind of hop off, because obviously like it takes two to tango, right? You're very good in terms of like a business owner. First of all, you're very good on your employees, all of that stuff, but you're also good with like, for example, tracking the sheet. You're filling it out. Hey, this person was booked. This person got feedback. What would you say to people that are potentially might want to work with us? What would you say that they have to put in to get the best results based on what your experience has been?
So the only way that you guys can really do your job and make things better for us is if we're giving the consistent feedback of what is coming in. And so that way you can see where to target, where not to. So the way I try to do it is as soon as a sale is made, while I'm on the computer already booking in their appointment, click right over to the sales tracker and just plug that right in. Or at least at the end of every day, it's 25 minutes, sit down, go through it, whatever the leads that you had for that day, and just check them off. And it just makes things so much easier because, like at the beginning when we started, I wasn't used to doing that. And I had to literally come in on a Sunday, do 80 different leads and categorize them. It got
Uh-huh.
overwhelming. You stay on top of things, and especially like as they come in, you guys are seeing it in real time, and then it helps you optimize things and make things work better.
Mhm.
So just allocating time for yourself, whether it's an hour at the end of the day, every day, just to check all those boxes,
Yeah.
it'll make for a better experience for sure.
Exactly. And it's also like me personally, like when I'm tracking for my business, I just feel like so much more mentally like better when I know that okay, all of the leads that were today, I know exactly what happened with them. No one was kind of missed, and I've kind of
Yeah.
tracked everyone.
No, that helps me a lot too because, like, I mean, I think of overthink about everything. Having everything laid out in front of me, knowing I'm keeping things organized, I'm staying on top of stuff, makes me feel much more like, I don't know, calm and collected throughout our workday. Just because I'm not wondering who did I talk to, who didn't I. I've got a full list right here showing when did this come in, when did I talk to him, when was the last time I talked to him, you know, then
Yeah.
if we don't have any more coming in, I've got 25 minutes to look at it. That's when you go through and do all your follow-ups, and that's where the money is,
Yeah. And I know we've spoken about this personally. Like, where do you see your role as the business owner transition once we start hitting the 80, 90? Like, what do you see you spending most of your time doing, like later on?
Making sure that the business is running the way it's supposed to. It's something that I've let fall short a lot over the last couple of years because I have felt so absorbed in the actual work. And after you're polishing cars or laying PPF for 12 hours in a day, the last thing you're doing is making sure that like everything on the computer is in order. You're up to speed on everything that's actually going on. Making sure that the business is operating as efficiently as possible, while still helping my guys. It's not like I want to completely step out, but this position is just as important, if not more, than getting the work done on a day-to-day. Because if I'm back there helping them buff cars, like we don't have jobs coming in next week, and then nobody's got work, and then nobody's happy. So it's just as important, if not more, because without consistent sales and booking appointments, like you don't get to keep growing the business or
Yeah.
have a business.
It just allows you to kind of have that comfort where you can take on other tasks and you don't have to be in the sort of like in the installing like situation.
100%. You're not looking at day to day. You're thinking about 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now,
And you're not like
getting ahead of the game.
then your mindset is no longer of an installer or like a detailer. You're more of like a business owner. And now this is serious.
No, 100%.
But yeah, no, that was it for the interview. One question that people love asking, that I always ask my people is, how much did I pay you for this testimonial?
Undisclosed.
Okay, well, we can't tell anyone. So if anyone's wondering, I paid him $10,000 to say these nice words. But yeah, no, that was it. I had fun, man. Hopefully we keep growing, keep hitting the 80, 90, and eventually 100K a month. It's very, very possible.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen time and time again. But yeah, thank you for the interview. That's it, guys.
Yeah.
I will see you guys soon.